thing, and then I'll conclude PowerPoints. PowerPoint's another bad word. Ooh, PowerPoint. Surprisingly, I'm not going to advocate dumping PowerPoints. Actually, with some new software, they're getting pretty cool. And there's ways you can use Flash, but in general, don't just say PowerPoints are lame. And try to make it work for you. If you can hold a meeting, and I mean really hold it without one, you're having a great meeting. For routine stuff though, go ahead, point and click, but for the big show, try looking for the magic within yourself or your work. Both stand behind your work, literally and figuratively. Now everybody here, I don't know how this is going over. I don't have my radar up to read the room, I'm just putting it out there. If I had to select the most important item from everything I've covered here, it would be the bit about nervousness. So many people try to cover up and play cool. Like I said, it didn't work when you were a teenager, it doesn't work when you're caught in a lie. They can see it in your eyes. You know that they know that you know you're nervous, and you end up stuttering and saying basically. It's best to just be honest about those nerves. Tell your client that this is the biggest meeting you've ever been in, and of course you're nervous. Tell them it would be disrespectful if for some reason you were not. That's enough. I have said, you know what, I've done this rap and I've said it and believed it, and I've told them, you know, if an agency comes in and they're cavalier and it's their way or the highway, or they don't feel the magnitude and how important this is, they just sort of are dumping, and you find a way to, you're actually competing against the other agency because you're positioning yourself as the honest partner, the person who's going to acknowledge they don't know everything, and that if someone came in with the assumption that they do, watch out for that arrogance, because those are what big dumb agencies do. And you find you're able to politely and respectfully kind of knock the competition, and I'm all for that if you do it in kind of a sort of a, I don't want to say covert, but part of the subtext. In the end, confidence tempered by respect is the most important attribute a team can bring into the room, and it's all the big ideas. And if you have a cashmere jacket from Barney's, that helps too. I'm sure there's a few more pages here. That's a rambling discourse on how not to do a rambling discourse. I do have a fun novel about God and advertising, and here's my deal for you. I pitched this a couple times. If you spend your $10.20 on Amazon and get that book and read it, I will be obligated to have you come to my office with that book. You'll show me your book. So my book for your book. It's a win-win, and I had a ball doing this. Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Let's do some questions.
All right.
I'm sure people have any presentation, any type of questions. It can be beyond what you're saying.
This is the card, by the way. Some of you have seen this.
I have a question. In talking about presenting, you know, you described a difference between what's good and what's great, and trying to direct them to the what's great. If the client you're presenting to demurs at the work that you think is best, or you favor, how hard do you fight, or how hard do you determine, or how do you determine how hard to fight, or when to just let it go during your presentation without kind of losing face and seeming like you're too attached or kind of a crybaby?
Good question, and every meeting will have a different temperature. If you have a certain amount of latitude with a client and they expect a certain amount of pushing, then you would be wrong not to sort of go for the three-pointer there. But I like to play it. I don't think selling an ad is as important as maintaining the integrity of this relationship. There will always be another brief and another ad, but that client, should that trust be eroded, will go away. I don't think client and agency relationships last longer than a couple years coverage. It's terrible. So you have to maintain that. You can force one commercial, one tactic. You can get your way once, maybe twice, but it's just never going to be the right move. It will come back to haunt you. And so I manage it. If I bring one of my kids in the room, I tell them, expect criticism, expect a client who's not as excited about your idea as you are, and just play through it. I don't think it's a sign of weakness to demur, to use your word. I just don't. I think compromise is part of our business. A lot of times what I say is that I don't want to rush to answer. You've got to the sort of talk about it, figure it out, and we'll come back to you. I mean, you have your other meeting. It's not the outcome you feared. It's a workable solution. You can come with a love and a door, and who knows, maybe the client really had some points. I said it, they can be right as much as you are. I've been times, I've gone back after my rage and thought about it, and I'm like, they were right. And then, you know, of course, and you tell them honestly, right? They love you. It's all good. It's all golden again. I mean, it really is a bunch of relationships. Even in boom times and during the .com thing, I mean, I lived and worked through that. It's still all about trust and relationships and how you play. That's a lot of answer for your question.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you said when you bring your kids in, like how often are you letting, or do you have your juniors present their ideas to clients?
Not very often. I try to groom everybody who's interested in that for that, and it starts by tissue session meetings, briefing sessions. Those, yes, everybody in. I want to show the client a full force. If while the person over the time is presenting me work and his or her work is what I'm showing, and I've developed a relationship with the art director or the writer or the team, I can say, are you ready? Do you want to? Sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes, or I'm not yet, Steffan, but I want to do that, and I want to be that person. Thanks for it. I'm not ready. I'd rather you do it. I do tell them I've never met anybody as good as me. So if you don't want to work, what do you think your chances are? And you know, it's kind of like, if I love you, you really, really want me in your corner. I'm a great lawyer for good work, and I have a ton of credibility, and but I believe that you want to learn how to be all the things I talked about, because it'll add to your salary, add to the length of your career. You'll be plane work. You know, remember from Seinfeld, sponge ready. You'll be plane ready. If I can put you on a plane and trust you in front of a client, you're worth more money to me. You become an ACD. You stay a senior writer, because that's your ceiling right now. So if I think you're not going to be a defensive, whining, difficult person, I will ask to take you, budget permitting. I want my kids, people, most of them are 30, you know, but I want them all to get there. I don't want to hold anybody back. My father, the directors knew him, and he always said the secret to his success was giving everyone else the credit, because it always reflected back on him. So the answer is not a lot, but over time, as you get less junior, and if something you want, it will happen if your boss is a good guy, a good woman, a good person. And when you're reviewed, you say that. You know, I really think I want to get out there more. I've been thinking about it. I've read some books. Went to this great lecture by Steffan. He told me what I need to do. And, you know, that's what you ask for. Don't ask for a raise, ask for that. Then you get a raise if you know, find ways to ask for the right things. And that would be a good thing to ask for.